Yo, it's me. I'm back. It's Prophet. And as you can see, I'm tired. I ain't gonna lie. That's what took me so long to do this follow-up video, cause bro, I'm tired. Um it's a long ass road, it's a long ass process doing this shit. A lot of information that I'm seeking. I'm reaching out for the information and it's taking time for me to get it back. Like I gotta reach out to like Freedom Information. I'm reaching out to like DCFS. I'm reaching out to different like police stations and shit like that. Even like the headquarters. It's just a process on getting information. It's also like a long ass process just reaching out to people that don't fucking know you, even if y'all got the same blood. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how you coming. They don't know where you come from. So I just been being patient with this shit. It is an emotional roller coaster when it come down to this shit. Honestly, just to give everybody a little backstory, this is part 4 of the Family Tree series. So far, I still don't know my daddy name. We four episodes in, and I still don't know this nigga name. I don't know nobody that's even remotely around this nigga. I still got family members who tell me that I'm named after him. I just had an uncle just tell me vivid details about the nigga. But I had to take a break from the whole father chase for a minute because I'm like, man, I got a whole nother side of the family that I don't know as well. Like, even though I know some of my uncles and aunties and shit, I don't know my grandparents. I don't know a lot of my cousins, my mom's cousins, a lot of her aunts and uncles. I don't know those people. I don't know, where they come from. So I got in tune with my auntie Anissa. Shout out to my auntie Anissa. That's my mom's sister, my mom's younger sister. Shout out to my auntie Anissa. She been really putting pieces of the puzzle together for me. It's crazy. Because I didn't even know she had all this knowledge about my maternal side. And I don't know why I didn't know she had a lot of knowledge because she been around them all her life. But basically, man, since I've been on this journey, I've had a few family members actually sign up for Ancestry. I got my Uncle Raymond. Shout out to my Uncle Raymond. My little sister Cree, my brother Carl, my auntie Anissa. They all signed up. They all gonna submit their DNA and do their thing. But I'm shouting out my auntie Anissa because she really put a lot in perspective for me as far as the maternal side of my family, right? So my mom obviously grew up in Chicago, low end. Grew up in the Ida B. Wells home, Stateway, Robert Taylor Homes, 5201. My mom's name is Sheila Johnson. They used to call her Big Sexy back in the day. Dark skin, she had long, pretty hair. She knew how to sing real good. She knew how to dance really good. And she knew how to fight really good. But another thing a lot of people don't know is my mom was a certified genius. She had a very high IQ. It just sucks that she was failed so badly by her family and her environment. Just to get into her story a little bit, she lost her mom when she was about 5 years old. She didn't really lose her. She didn't die or nothing like that. My grandma, her name is Sharon King. She just died in October of last year. She just walked out. She told the kids she was going to the store and she never came back. I believe my mom was like 5. My auntie Anissa, who I just shouted out, she was like a baby. I don't even think she was 1 year old yet. And my uncle was a little bit older. I think he was like 6 or 7, something like that. So my grandma Sharon just pimped off one day, and she left my mom with her sister. Her sister's name is Carlita, and that's my mom's middle name, Sheila Carlita Johnson. We tend to keep the names in the family in my family apparently, because everybody is named after somebody. So my mom's name is Sheila Carlita Johnson. She grew up with her auntie, which is Carlita. Carlita supposedly took care of everybody in the house except for my mom. For some reason, she did not like my mom. I don't know if they just didn't click or if she just had some kind of hatred towards her or what it was. I'm not going to speak too badly on Carla because I didn't know her like that. She died right around the time I met her. I got uncles and aunties that were raised by her and they love her to death. So I don't want to disrespect them or disrespect her. But this is my mama we talking about. So I do take it a little personal, the way she treated her. She treated my mama like shit, basically. And even my uncles will admit that my mom was treated like shit. She was treated worse than everybody else in the family. And I don't know why. I would have to get Carlita's, explanation on that, but she is deceased, RIP to her. Um, my mom was being treated so bad that she ran to her dad, which is my grandfather, Jerome Johnson. And that's really the story that I want to get into about him. So Jerome is my mom's dad. Of course, he was, very well known on 47th, very well known 5201, 51st and State. He actually used to be a police officer, and he could sing like very, very well. He was a really good singer. So like the musical talent, it kind of like running my family from back then. As a matter of fact, like Muddy Waters is my cousin, which is crazy. That's like he's like a blues and jazz legend. He's my actual cousin. He got babies with my blood, with my mom and my uncles and them, all of them with their blood first cousin. He got 3 kids by her. So like his kids are like my blood family. You know what I'm saying? So like my grandfather used to be in like a singing group with him. And like they used to sing and shit, doo-wop shit on the corner type shit. And then my grandfather was a police officer, Chicago police officer. So this was like the 80s and the 90s. So, this when crack first hit real bad. Heroin was always prevalent, in the black community since like the 60s. And my grandfather was a dope fiend. He was a heroin addict. So my mom left her aunt to move in basically with a fucking dope fiend. You know what I'm saying? Not only was my grandfather like a dope fiend, but he was also he was a pimp. So dude was fighting some real demons. Now, I don't know what happened to him in his childhood, anything like that. I'm still doing some research on that. But the things that happened to him, they carried over into his parenting. And I won't go into too much detail, but just know my mom became a part of that lifestyle in a major way. She followed her father in every way. You know what I'm saying? When it came to the pimping, when it came to the drugs, when it came to the street life in general. My grandfather was a real big GD. He was actually a prince of the GDs. They used to call him Prince Rome. And I don't know if anybody's still alive from that time or was right under him and still alive. They can verify that for me. But his name was Prince Rome. He was a real big GD. He was a police officer. He ended up getting fired because, he was strung out on drugs, and they was saying he was like stealing evidence and, doing dirty shit, dirty cop shit. There was a lot of dirty cops back then. So not only was he like a pimp, a hustler, I hear good things about him too. Like he was a family man. He took care of the family. He was a nice guy. Of course, like I said, he had a real good musical talent. He was just a real well-known guy. But he comes from a lady named Hannah Patton. That's my great-grandmother. Hannah Patton was married to my grandfather's stepfather. So the guy who raised my grandfather wasn't his real father. I forget this guy's name, but my great-grandmother, her name was Hannah Patton. Now, she was a motherfucker. Big black lady. She looked just like my mama. My mama was real dark-skinned, real thick, real voluptuous women that come in my family. And my great-grandmother was no different, but she was a motherfucker. So apparently my great-grandmother was a loan shark in the projects. My great-grandma, you hear me, like used to beat niggas, used to loan niggas money, fuck niggas up if they ain't pay. So of course, you already know what kind of household my grandfather grew up in. You know what I'm saying? It was a gangsta-ass household. You feel me? So that's a little backstory on my maternal side. My grandfather had a lot of demons that he passed on to my mother. And that's why we are at where we at right now. So my mom Had her first kid when she was 15 years old, meaning she got pregnant when she was 14. Had my brother when she was 15 years old. Like I told y'all before, my mom was like a genius. She had a very high IQ. She was really smart. But, the streets took a hold of her, her family. She didn't get much family support. Um, and it was just like the environment that she lived in, it truly let her down. And instead of it being some kind of light where she can go towards and revel in, she was just covered in darkness. You know what I'm saying? She was covered in sexual assault and drug abuse and physical abuse and abandonment. And those are things that we pass on to our children and our grandchildren, and we don't even know. So it's important that we attack those traumas. It's important that we know where we come from so we can know what kind of trauma we come from as well. A lot of this shit I'm learning, I kind of knew, but I didn't know in detail. So it's important for me to know that I come from this type of trauma, that I come from this type of background, so I can know the signs and I can know not to repeat it. As I said in the first episode, I'm really kind of doing this for myself and my children because as a father, it's certain things that I don't want to pass on to my kids. It's certain generational things that I don't want to see in their children. And in order for me to combat those things, we gotta know our history. So just giving y'all a little history on my family and the shit they went through. So we got back all the way to my great grandmother on my mother's side. And this is all through the ancestry journey. I didn't know my grandfather's mom name. I didn't know my grandfather was a police officer. There was a lot of shit that I didn't know. So it was enlightening to learn some of the things about my mom's side. And the next episode, we'll get into a little bit more about my father's side. Until then, see y'all later.